Hi guys, how are you? Hi everybody, how are you? Now, you guys know I do not go on this late, but I've been asked to do this video, and a lot of people have been contacting the hotline wanting to know exactly what was going on, bits and pieces. So let me go ahead and tell you what's going on with this Wendy Williams story. It's actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, we've been hearing the rumors that she is having problems. I'll put it that way. The rumors were she's suffering from dementia. Other rumors is that she's just still suffering, struggling with addiction, and she's been in and out of. I don't want to say out of her coherent and then not coherent sometimes, and it sounds like it goes on for days, and she's just suffering. Now, she doesn't have a technical diagnosis of dementia. Okay, so she was been acting like this for quite some time, ever since her divorce, if you ask me. But that's when the people around you should take care of you. But no, 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 they don't. She has a financial advisor named Lori Schiller, who went into an agreement with Wells Fargo Bank, and they were supposed to take care of her finances, investing her money, doing things like that. But they've been doing things that's beyond that, okay? And when Wendy found out what was going on, she fired Lori, okay? Now it gets complicated. She fired Lori. Lori goes back to Wells Fargo. They're taking advice or information from an ex-employee at this point and lock her out of all of her bank accounts. She's been locked out for the last 2 weeks. And they thought that she wouldn't have the wherewithal to realize what was going on. In those 2 weeks, bills haven't been paid. This is not, let's just say she is struggling with dementia. It's not the bank's responsibility to step in and take care of her, but they got they got something that they never expected, a lawsuit on their hands. She fired them. She realized what was going on. Now, their defense is that, oh, she's mentally incapable of taking care of her money. Wouldn't a family member step in or something like that? People are dragging the family, saying that this is their fault. They should have stepped in. But Wendy has been capable of taking care of her own money. But let's just say that she wasn't. Wouldn't the bank reach out to a family member, something like this, her son, somebody? You just don't take somebody's money and lock them out. So she's suing them. And I would too. Who do you think you are? This is crazy. Now, I got a copy of the lawsuit. It's quite in depth, but I gave you the cliff notes. They're suing Wells Fargo and Lori Schiller, and they're saying that they're going over and beyond their duties, what she allowed them to do. You just can't go freeze somebody's bank account because you feel like they're mentally incapable. I've never heard of such a thing. As a matter of fact, let me get my crew up here. Hold on. This is ridiculous. Diva, this is late for us, isn't it?
It is late. It is late, but we had to do it.
Harry, this is late for us. V,
Yeah, for y'all too, it is.
Can you believe what is going on? So it's going to put Wendy in two different positions. One, you got to get a medical diagnosis. But even with the medical diagnosis, let's say, okay, she is suffering from dementia. Lori or Wells Fargo does not have the right, and I agree with the lawsuit, they're going beyond their scope. What happened is she's been drunk out of her mind. or high, whatever her vice is. I don't believe she has dementia. If she does, it's alcohol induced. And they didn't think that she would realize what was going on
With her money.
with her money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know how people get. I mean, who do they think they are? This is so frustrating to me. So I was talking to Diva about this on the phone, and we were like, just bring it on here because we can't believe it. Even if, and Perry, you said something too, even if something was wrong and she wasn't allowed in control of her faculties, the bank has no right, the bank, to tell me what I can and can't do with my money.
Right.
And if they were so concerned, why isn't her bills getting paid?
Because that's what the financial advisor basic duty is, to make sure your money grow or things are handled. And if you said I'm not in a capable state to handle my own money, and you're gonna withhold my money from me, then you should be responsible enough to pay my damn bills too, right? But they are denying her access to her cash, but access to view. That's a problem. I can't see what the hell you doing with my money. It's an issue for me.
It's an issue for anybody. And why is the bank taking orders for somebody that's an ex-employee at this point? You don't work for Wendy anymore, Lori Schiller. You have no right to give anybody any instructions on to do what. How dare you? But it's going to back Wendy into a corner. She's got to get it together. She has to show that she has her marbles still. If it is, this needed to be done. Because
a wake-up call.
You can't be drunk and high all day to the point where people think they can take advantage of you. That's number one. Number two is you have to be in control of your money at all times. This goes to show you can't trust anybody with your money but you.
But Apple Crescent just said in the chat. Apple Crescent said in the chat that Lori was fired.
I know. That's what I said.
So, okay, right. No, I get it. So, I mean, even fired or still there, no longer on like, you go to a bank and get a loan officer. If you're no longer my loan officer or a finance officer, what the hell is going on? Are they really trying to hijack Wendy for her cash? Huh?
The bank can't just automatically act. They had to have some direction from somebody. So who gave them that?
Lori, an ex-employee, Lori Schiller. Who are you? An ex-employee? No, let me tell you, they've probably been stealing from Wendy for a while.
For years. They probably
didn't realize what was going on.
And she will roll your banner too.
Yeah. So you know what? First of all, Wells Fargo, they gonna make me go to the bank on Monday and shut down my own personal account. Because how dare you do this to the Queen? How dare you do this to Wendy? And that Lori, whatever family member of Wendy sees her first, they need to slap her on sight. You're right, Sharrell. They've been stealing from her for years.
That's what I think. Allegedly. You gotta say allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. They have allegedly been stealing from her for years. And now when you thought she wasn't looking and wasn't capable and didn't know, you was going to take all the rest of it. Like, how greedy are you? And this bank, she needs to sue them for millions. Just for the simple fact of how dare you just allow some employee to shut me down and freeze me out and not even try to check in with me first. So the bank was in cahoots with her.
Yeah.
And that's disgraceful that a bank would do that.
I mean, they've been doing.
I'm wondering. Okay, I'm wondering if Lori was in charge of the finances the whole time and never let the bank know she was fired, because how would they know?
Well, you know what? Because you get a lawsuit saying I'm about to sue you.
Right. But I'm saying when they acted on that, how would they know that she had been fired? So I'm thinking Wendy needs to zero in on her. On her. Who? She is the one that probably gave the bank the order to do that.
That's what they're saying in the lawsuit. But Wendy should zero in on the bank too.
Right.
You pulled me out.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you froze me out.
Exactly.
When she was dealing with it before, when did you freeze me from coming to get my own money? You never did that before. And now this woman could just come with no medical paperwork and say, I'm not in my right state of mind, and you're going to freeze my accounts? Oh, no. No.
Yeah.
You're going to get slapped on this lawsuit, too.
Yeah. The bank is at fault also.
Now, people are criticizing Wendy's family, saying, how could you let this happen to her? You know what? They probably don't have any control over Wendy's money. She's probably been in control of her money this whole time. They didn't know what was going on. But the bank is in cahoots, I'm telling you, with Lori. She's an ex-employee. And now you guys are busted. Right. And now you got to point the finger. And the bank could say, we didn't know Lori was no longer an employee, but you're still at fault too, because bills didn't get paid and you don't lock anybody out of their money. You don't have the right to do that. And Lori has absolutely no explanation for her services, but what they're going to try for her action, but what they're going to try to do is use her health condition against her. They're going to say she wasn't in her right frame of mind. But I don't care.
You need paperwork. You need paperwork, though. Before you can freeze my account and go by this woman's word of what she's saying allegedly about me, you need some medical paperwork in order to proceed with some different things. You can't just take somebody's word of mouth and say, I'm crazy, freeze me out of my own account, and then you proceed with it. No, Wells Fargo is going to go down for this. And I'm going to be out there picking it with them. Do not use this bank. They are dead wrong for that.
But Wendy's got to sober up. You got to get back in the game.
Yeah,
you got to get back in the game, Wendy.
You know what's sort of weird though? Like, I think some guy, like, say if the girl worked for Wells Fargo or she was Wendy's personal financial advisor, that she gave the proper authorities to handle her stuff with the bank. Either way, I would think that that she would have had like a beneficiary, like say if something happened, right?
Right. Some kind of
something to say, okay, well, if she can't handle it, let me send this stuff to another person that she chose.
Wells Fargo's out of line and busted.
If not, it's almost like the person just trying to take Wendy's money.
Let's see what Lola has to say. She did. They tried to steal from her.
Yeah. Shame on them.
Shame. What's your thoughts on this, Lola? Lola has.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I need to put on my headphones. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. This is just ridiculous. They got busted. They thought Wendy was out of it, wasn't in control of her faculties, wasn't paying attention to what was going on. Boom. Shame on you. You got caught. Give that woman her money back and pay her bills. She doesn't even have access to see how much money's in the account.
Yeah, they could close my damn account.
Yeah.
I
think y'all know what I think. I think she's gonna stop playing crazy in 2 seconds, because I think, honestly, guys, no, for real. Is it me? I know she was having health issues, and maybe she was having some fainting spells and stuff like that, as we saw live. But how did she go from like being able to like interact with people every day on the show to kind of being declared mentally unstable? I don't understand that. I feel like the stress of life got too heavy for her, with her husband publicly shaming her and stuff like that. And she was like, I'm going to disconnect from the world. I'm leaving. Think what you want. Maybe she hit the bottle a little bit too much, but that doesn't mean you're necessarily mentally unfit. And I'm like, for them to freeze her bank account, I feel like she's going to dress up real quick and get to work. You know what I'm saying? Because she's going to try everything she can to prove that she is mentally well. I mean, the fact that she had the wherewithal to get a lawyer and immediately act on Wells Fargo means that she has to have some of her faculties together, you know?
Right. I do have the legal documents. I guess I can read, the first 2 pages. That's a lot of reading. Let's see. Should we do that, y'all? Because I already read these. Michelle says the bank has legal documents with Lori's name as a financial advisor. So legally needs to have that part changed to remove Lori's name at the bank. Exactly.
Right. Go ahead.
When you got fired, you were no longer, what's the word I'm looking for? Allowed to have that same position anymore. You still don't have control over anything at that point. You're fired. You don't work for me anymore. So either
but that's what my problem is. Did the bank know that?
Well,
How would the bank know that she's fired?
But even if they didn't, you freezing me out? No,
Right.
no, no.
Right.
No,
right.
no, no. That's the problem. I think it comes
freezing her out on her order, on Lori's order, though, right?
Okay. Right. Or I guess it's Lori order or whatever.
Yes,
but what I'm saying
that's
is,
what it says in the documents.
me and Sharrell got a banking account. We co-ownership to the bank.
Right.
Sharrell got access. I got access. Even though if my financial officer had access to my account because I gave it to the bank, shouldn't Wendy still have access to view and do stuff on her own?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy that they took that. It's like they didn't even have like a hearing. Like there wasn't even like someone to step in, the doctor to be like, hey, this is what we are diagnosing her with. It's just like they kind of just pulled the rug from under her. And I don't think that's okay. That's messed up. And I saw some comments. No one's making a joke about Wendy and her mental state. We're just kind of speaking our opinions on here. But I feel as though
is Wendy broke? Wendy is not broke.
No, she's
not out of her money, which is millions of dollars.
Yeah. Now the issue is going to be how much maybe they try to take and cipher already in that little time period. Because why do you want to freeze her out? Why do you not want her to see it?
Right. Exactly. And it's like I don't know, maybe Sharrell, you've done the research, but has there been some kind of psychologist or doctor that's diagnosed with some mental instability?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. For people to deem her crazy, Wells Fargo is a financial institution. You are not a mental institution. So who are you to pull the rug from under her like that?
Let me take another question really quick. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good. What did you want to add to the conversation?
So let's talk business for a minute. So I work in medical finance, and let's just take a typical power of attorney. I don't know what structure this lady has, but let's take a typical power of attorney. When you run a business, and you can call it Sharrell's world, and you make me as your power of attorney or whatever legalese you want to use. The other one is the estate of your living will, things of that nature. Just because gray hair Diva is your manager and she fired me, it's up to you and Sharrell's world to remove me and my power of attorney from the institution. It's not nobody because the bank doesn't get involved in that. And it's the same thing as you come here in medical. If the gentleman on the stage gets sick and he's under Sharrell's world plan, we're going to build Sharrell's world plan because you haven't told us X, Y, Z. The same way as Mr. Perry can work for Sharrell's world and for the past 6 months and be going to all his doctor's accounts. Sharrell's world can fire him in December and retro terminate all of those 6 months that he's been coming to the doctor. It's a weird thing. Yes, I know.
Explain it, and I'm not understanding. Explain it.
Yeah,
in the layman's terms.
So
he said, I know I'm correct.
So the weird thing that happens in business, and especially the one that I just named with like Mr. Perry, you can provide Mr. Perry insurance. He can pay it and see it as an individual, but the plan that he created, the plan that Sharrell's world created was between them, Sharrell's world, and my hospital. It wasn't his individual plan.
Right.
So because of that one little seesaw stipulation, Sharrell's world can retro all of his time up to 6 months, and he'll be on the bill for that because it was never his individual plan. He was taxing onto a company plan that was between our hospital and Sharrell. So I say all that to say this: you don't know how Lori's power was structured.
That's true.
Right.
And if I only came up here so you guys don't speculate a lot. You got to understand it's the company's job or gray hair Diva, the manager's job, to instantly contact me, the bank, and remove me and Perry from that power of attorney or whatever.
So it goes back to what I was saying. The bank didn't know that she had been let go. So they were acting on her, whatever she told them, they were acting on that.
Right.
But I
know,
needed to
focus. Wendy needs to focus on her.
Wouldn't the bank need proof though from, even if let's say Diva is the power of
That's what
attorney
he's
over
saying.
Sharrell, wouldn't she need to produce some kind of proof that Sharrell is clearly, undeniably
100%
not in a
Lola.
clear mental state? Like, that's what I'm saying. Where would that physical proof
100%.
come from if the doctor has not if any doctor has not diagnosed?
Okay, I get it.
Financial advisor doesn't give you 100% right over all my cash. So yes, he is right in saying it depends on what the document is saying. But I know that document doesn't say, oh, you could freeze me out of my own account at any given time when you feel like it. That's where I think the bank is going to have problems at. Yes, she had financial contract to sign and pay my bills and do certain things with my money, but to freeze me out, I doubted that contract.
I get it, right? But at the same time, what he's saying is we speculate on the point. We don't know how that contract between her and her advisor was structured. Even though Diva, we wouldn't give somebody 100%. Some people might.
Right.
Okay, let me have Mr. Research explain.
Diva, let me ask you this question. If what you say is true, let's just use it mathematically. If what you say is true, all things being equal, then Britney Spears' father wouldn't have control.
Yeah, but their thing was different. That conservatorship was different, right? And I understand, like, see, here's the thing. I know what you're saying, like, with, it all depends on, because, I work in an insurance company too, medical insurance. And everybody's medical contract is different from every company. Some companies say I'll pay 100% when you're in the hospital. Some of them say I'll pay 50. Some of them say I pay 25 and you're going to have $1,000 copay. So that's why I'm saying with this financial advisor, you are correct in saying we need to know more details of what she had control over. But I highly doubt that she had the power and the control to shut me out of my own account. Now we're going way too far here. I don't think anybody will write a financial advisor to say that any given time you can shut me out of my own account and I can't see what's going on with my own money and then my bill's not getting paid either. I'm sure at the very least you're going to write it that your financial advisor is going to pay your bills. No, they was trying to choke her out of her money and they got to pay. And the bank is dead wrong. At some point, you got to say, even as the manager of the bank, like, hold on, let me talk to Miss Wendy before I do this.
Diva, Mr. Research, you're saying it was Wendy's responsibility to tell Wells Fargo that Lori no longer worked with her.
Absolutely. It's just like with Selena, the Mexican singer, when the lady was in charge of her fan club. That lady was getting dollars donated in her name that was structured under Selena and her father. But listen, Selena and her father was on there. But guess who had control over it? The lady running the fan club. So there was some problems. I understand what Gray Hair Diva is saying. It's just that respectfully, you could be right, Gray Hair Diva, but we really need to see the language. Because you can freeze a person out if you give them the power to do so.
That's what I wanted to say.
So Britney, wasn't Britney Spears?
Hold on, Lola. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say, because we don't know what that contract stated, she could have said, if I'm incompetent, then you can freeze me out of the account and you can take control of that account. If it says that, if she's incompetent, that it could say that. We don't know, but it could say that. And if that's the case, the bank is acting on what they know to do.
Right. No, I get it.
I don't think they did because the lawyer took the lawsuit.
What I was going to say,
well, just because a lawyer takes a lawsuit, don't mean that. I mean, we gotta found that out with Tasha paying 3.8. I mean, that don't mean.
Y'all ain't right. What were you trying to say, Lola? Go ahead.
So what I was trying to say was that for Britney Spears, wasn't she evaluated first mentally and then her father gained power of attorney? It wasn't just like they pulled the rug under her like they did now. It was just, and also if Wendy did indeed fire this woman ahead of time, wouldn't there be some kind of paper trail of that? I mean, there's got to be some notice of termination and all that other stuff. Wouldn't she be able to introduce that to the bank to prove that she'd done that ahead of time before this woman acted in the way that she did?
Go ahead,
I
Mr.
know what
Richard.
he's saying. She should have informed the bank. I do get that. Yes, she should have informed the bank. But I think they tried to bamboozle her.
I don't think
Yeah.
legally. I don't think that's gonna hold water for the bank. I think the bank is gonna be found not responsible for this because they're acting on whoever Wendy put in charge, which is this lady. They're acting on what she was supposed to be in charge of doing. I don't think the bank is gonna be responsible for this at all.
They are
typically, I mean, anything like that. I mean, in my mind, as far as I know.
Well, here's a little. Go ahead. Sorry, Perry.
I mean, anytime somebody gives somebody authority like that, most time it's notarized, right? Am I right?
Well,
notarized, right?
I wanted to bring this up. Lori, Apple Crescent, who is Tommy Williams, Wendy's brother's moderator, says that Lori was involved in setting up back in the day when Kevin was on. So
not set up by Wendy.
It wasn't set up by Wendy. This is dangerous.
That's still on Wendy, though. It's still on Wendy. You know,
if Wendy signed something that Kevin gave her,
Sharrell's point is this: if Kevin was involved some way, somehow, and this money was being dumped into account X that gray-haired Diva have access to, just because gray-haired Diva have access to, maybe it's become a norm that it's her account, but is it really?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
So now that it's frozen, I have a question. So now that it's frozen, right? Does that mean no one has access to it at all, or only the power of attorney?
Right. Well, the word is on the thing is on the court documents. Wendy don't have access to pull anything out or to even see it. Now, I'm sure the person who's running it got the authority because the bank, if nobody had authority, I'm sure the bank would just close the account.
So it's even more touchy. If this was set up by Kevin, oh my gosh. This is, oh no, this is bad.
Okay, look at what Sharrell is saying. Sharrell is saying the key word, set up. So to gray-haired Diva, I would ask you, did Wendy go in there and put her ID down and set it up?
According to Apple, no.
I have a question though. Wouldn't have her lawyers, when she was getting divorced from Kevin, right? They would have, when they did the forensic accounting to see how they were going to divvy things up and what was hers. Wouldn't they have advised her, like, hey, your husband, soon to be ex-husband, set this up. Maybe you should rearrange this so you have full control over it. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think that anybody can set up an account for somebody without that person signing.
Right. But listen, I've done this myself, and I tell every woman not to do this, and I did it myself. I have had Perry do financial business for me, and he just hands me the paperwork, and I just sign it.
A lot of couples do. A lot of couples do, Sharrell.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's the thing. I want to say this. I do believe that Wendy's name is on that account some way, somehow. I do believe that they are playing some tricky games over there at Wells Fargo. And I do believe it's going to come down on them and they're going to pay the piper. They're going to pay the price. Something doesn't smell right with this situation.
Do you think that Kevin would do her dirty and set up an account where she was able to get locked out of her own account?
It's a possibility because we know the history with him, right? So I won't say that is far-fetched, but the problem that I'm having is why can't she go? That's where I'm getting a little sticky at, and I'm jumping the fence back and forth. Why can't she just go and say, hey, this is me, unlock my account and stop the games? That she had to get a lawyer.
If she could have did that, she would have did that.
No, I know. That's
something's wrong with the setup.
Something's wrong with the
setup. Mr. Research, do you agree with me? This is bad.
Yes. Even if even if it's just medical. Even if it's just medical. I just read one thing from the Sun about someone alleges, maybe it's not in the medical paperwork, but someone alleges that sometimes she don't remember people's names. Yeah. It don't matter. If Perry don't remember people's names, Sharrell at any point in time can go take that to a magistrate, not even a judge, just a magistrate, and get that considered. The person can consider it. See, the only reason I came up is because we as Black folks And I hope it works out for Wendy. Really, I do.
I hope it works out for Wendy.
I mean,
This
look,
is
we as
terrible.
Black folks, we got to understand white man business. White man business is different from black people. That ain't right. That ain't right. Don't work in court. The only thing that works in court.
That is so true.
Business, and you got to know how they do the legalese. They're looking at it like, I'm not playing favorites here. I get a court fee no matter who wins or loses here. And Bank of America is looking at like, well, we got some type of paperwork. Now
they have to, or they wouldn't be able to do what they're doing.
Yeah, you can come and tell us to unfreeze it, but guess what? I need a judge to unfreeze it.
But see, here's the thing: if she had access to it before, her name got to be on there some way, somehow. She had access before. They just froze her out. So her name had to be on it somehow, that she was some part of this account.
What you're doing, hold on.
You can't open an account in your name without your name being on the account. You can't open an account. I can't open an account in my name without my name being on there. So your name has to be on there somewhere.
And I get it, but I think we go back to who actually got the authority to block somebody from my account.
That's
me and Sharrell can be on there, and if she gave somebody the authorization to be like the main account holder, you know how you have people added.
She did.
Oh, you have people added to the account and stuff. Then you can get people removed if you got the ultimate power. And sometimes power attorneys could have, depends on how it's structured, they could have the power. Like you said, maybe they went to somewhere and got something enough to prove it. Go ahead, Sharrell.
I don't think a bank is dumb enough to block her out of her own account.
Right.
Knowing who she is, with that much money and that much public attention on them, without any authorization. So somebody has set it up where she is blocked out of her own account. And now we got to get to the bottom of who actually did it, because the bank is going to bring their evidence and say, this is the authority that we had to do this. This is getting really.
And I can see that being done if in her contract it says, if I am incapable or legally incapable of making the decisions about my bank account, then let whatever that lady's name is make that decision. Then she could block her out of the account.
And this
read that, Sharrell.
Yeah, I'm trying to read it. Everybody's opinionated. I go like this. My big sis speaks says, love y'all. Thank you. I work in banking and have an account having an account frozen is usually identity. Wendy was probably having trouble verifying her identity because the finance lady probably put her own credentials in the account.
There you go, Diva. Read it.
No, but that's saying that chick put her own credentials in the account. She probably changed something along the way. Wendy was having access for all this time, and then all of a sudden she can't even access and see anything. No, I think that lady did some trickery and changed some things along the way. That's what I think happened. I don't think Wendy was that foolish. And Wendy was not that foolish to allow this woman to have that much control over her account when she was in her right mind.
You don't know.
Or maybe Kevin planted a Trojan horse, like for like.
Wendy went through a time where she wasn't in control of her faculties.
We've seen it happen to men. You know, we've seen it happen to men. Perry probably even tell you. We've seen it happen to men. Men sit up and trust somebody, and we done have some homeboys or some friends. Next thing you know, the girlfriend they done got access. Don't look nothing like Paul, but she got access. He like, I can't believe that girl. We see it all the time.
Come on, Mr. Research.
I am absolutely devastated. I'm absolutely devastated because I have been in that situation. Perry takes care of all my finances, and I'll tell you guys this: I have never filed taxes. Perry. I've been married since I was 18, and I tell everybody, you better be in control of your stuff. But
Perry, did you lock Sharrell out?
No. But seriously, if I probably wanted to, I probably could go to the bank and get her removed.
Good. No.
I think what I'm saying is though, I think it comes down to this, right? And I think at a time Wendy could have trusted, because most of let's keep it real. If you hire a financial advisor, if you hire them and you paying them, hell, you trust them some kind of way, don't you?
Yeah.
And that financial advisor just didn't sign herself on to Wendy's bank account. You had to get them authorization to add her to the bank account.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where it went wrong somewhere, you know.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Sure.
I'm reading this on The Sun, and you guys tell me if it's true. The Sun first reported that Wendy was transported to a New York hospital in September of 21. 911 call, person in need of psychiatric services.
Yep.
If that's true,
That's true.
hey, anybody can go and ice her out, because look, even Diva, you said you work in medical. So if she really had a psychiatric event, so anybody could have went to a magistrate and got her locked up.
Yeah, that was September. This is what now? What, February? The
It don't
thing
matter
is,
the time, Diva.
no,
It happened.
it does, because that's just saying that once something happened to you, you never recover. Of course you can recover.
No, Diva, that ain't how it work, my love.
Yes, it is. Of course you can recover.
If you have a psychiatric event in 2020,
Right.
and I got some type of legal power over your business in some form of fashion, or even your TV show, I can lock you out of your account. I can use
In
that.
2022, and it happened in 2020.
Yes, my love.
Mr. Research, let's not fight. Let's not fight.
Okay,
let's not do that. Let's not fight.
All right.
But Diva,
recover?
we're only talking 4 months here though.
Yeah, but I can't never recover.
No. We're only talking 4 months.
It ain't the judges. The judge don't care whether you recover or not.
5 days later.
Okay.
Even the judge
Well,
don't care whether you recover or not.
okay. If that's the case, then if that person issued this stuff, the other person had to issue some documentation saying, "I no longer have that issue."
A contract lasts until it's undone. So
Diva's just not having it. But you don't understand, Diva. Wendy could have accidentally shot herself in the foot by trusting the wrong person. Whether it's Kevin, whether it's Lori, she trusted whoever it was.
I agree with that, Sharrell. Here's the thing. Listen, when I was talking to you, you know what I said. Oprah said many moons ago, she said, "I will never trust nobody with my money. I write my own checks. I handle my own finances." So unfortunately, Wendy didn't get that memo. But what I'm saying is, you just locking me out of my account, ciphering my money wherever you want. Because I had an episode in September. We're not about to do that.
Yeah, she should have gotten reevaluated. Like, they should have reevaluated her. The moment they thought that this was the right action, they should have reevaluated her then.
All right, listen, I got a long line. Oh my God, I didn't even think people would be up this late. Lola, did you want to say something else? I'm going to have to start rotating people in.
No, that's fine. Yeah. No, I was just going to say, like, if what you're saying is true, research, I think if it was due to the episode in September, they should have reevaluated her in a new year, in a new month, to make sure that was the right course of action to do. Because I think what Diva's saying is true. Like, how do we know that this mental episode couldn't be from a lack of medication? Maybe with treatment, she could have gotten better. You know what I'm saying? Rather than it being like a permanent mental disability.
Listen, it's going to take a while to fight, but I think she made a mistake along the way, trusting the wrong person. Everyone knows Kevin's not. This is in his character. He's not above it. And we don't know who Lori is. We know that financial advisors turn on people every day.
Yes, they do.
So this is a bet.
And then Mr. Research is not Lori's attorney.
Hold on, Perry. Hold on. Thank you, Lola, for calling in. I appreciate the call.
Bye, y'all. Take care.
Bye, Lola.
This is Mr. Research. Did you want to stay on?
Just for a couple more. I just had a couple more things to pop off, and then I'll go in rotation, let new people in.
All right, let me let another person on. Hold on. Let me get these people on. Hi, Sharrell. Sharrell, are you there?
I'm here. How are you?
Good. What did you want to add to the conversation?
Oh my gosh. I just wanted to say, I am a customer of Wells Fargo. My mom had passed away recently, and to transfer certain money, you had to go in the bank and show up, put your ID. But I don't believe that all banks are bad. But I also believe that Wendy was maybe negligent in some of her financial documents.
That's what it's feeling like here. Now that we're talking, I think she trusted the wrong person.
And it seems like she always has. It's like there were good people by her and she fired them. So I don't know.
And
I love her. I wish her well. I'm sorry.
Me too.
The thing about a contract is, which we are forgetting, a contract is legal until you change it.
Mhm.
If you don't change it, it goes on and on and on.
Right.
So
I appreciate you bringing me up because I know there's been legal things that I had to do and I didn't realize. So
that's why I'm feeling empathy for Wendy. People are going to call her dumb and stupid, but I have been in a position where I've been working, and I don't have time to do the little technicalities. That's where Perry comes in, and or a V. You know, I trust you with everything too, and somebody can easily take advantage of you, especially if I'm dealing with a divorce and I'm suffering from substance abuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart goes. Thank you, Sharrell, for calling in.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, Sharrell.
Thank you, Sharrell.
I mean, we all love Wendy. Wendy has just
She's been through it.
high inspiration. What were your thoughts?
You know, listen, as much as we don't like it, V is exactly right. Mr. Research is exactly right. And no one's saying that Wendy's stupid at all. It is, if you don't know what to look for, sometimes you don't know what to look for. And I've gone through this. My own mother, you know, we had to do medical power of attorney. She was in the hospital some years back for a whole entire year. She went in and came out of surgery, and it was bad. Like, we didn't know she was going to live or die. And so all she had was a medical power of attorney. There was no financial power of attorney. So we had to try to scramble to figure all that out. It was a mess. But you know, in divorce, especially, like, we don't know how Wendy's finances were set up either. I have a business. I have an LLC. I have a business bank account. I'm a sole member of that LLC. My name is on there, but I also have officers. Those officers of my business could technically, since I have them on the account, they could go in and do something. You know what I'm saying? If it's not set up properly, like, we don't know how this was all set up when it was by Kevin.
Exactly.
I just have a feeling. I don't know. It's just
that
sad.
Kevin's involved.
I do.
I hope not. I mean, you know, sometimes I've been known to be a psychic and a tarot card reader. I don't know, child. I mean, I'm feeling there's something in the air here. There's something in the air that doesn't feel right by all of a sudden. But I also believe this too. If you all really investigated the Britney Spears situation and the conservatorship, when they put her in that conservatorship 13 years ago, they claimed that a 20-some-year-old woman had dementia, and they never filed any corroborating paperwork with the court, and the court just let it go.
Talk to the people.
So if the son, which you know what, if my kids, I'm 53, my kids are in their 30s and late 20s. If I were famous, they might tweet out, oh, okay, you know, mom just had to go to the hospital because she had a mental breakdown. God forbid, knock on wood. But you know what I'm saying? They could say that, and then you don't know who behind the scenes is saying, okay, well, if this paperwork said she's the financial advisor, and in the case of incapacitation, then she has the legal right to oversee this account. Because then she did exactly what she was supposed to do.
Go ahead, Mr. Research.
Because if you were cognizant, Heart of Inspiration, you would file a counter.
Yes.
To what is being served to you.
Yes.
And if you fail to file a counter, I'm going to let you finish, Heart of Inspiration, then what is the judge to do?
The judge is just going to go along with whatever's been presented to him, because that's the only information he has. And we don't know if this young son, he's a young man. We don't know if he's only medical power of attorney. Did he have financial power of attorney? You know, all the commotion after the divorce and everything, this is a monkey mess. Like, we don't know.
Thank you, Apple.
No one's
Can
blowing it
somebody,
out of
can
proportion,
somebody work
Apple.
with me? Can somebody work with me here? Thank you, Apple.
Nobody's blowing it out of proportion. I mean, this is the reality. She can't get into her account, period.
No,
Nothing
I
blown
like
out
the
of
part that she said at the end. Wendy will win. I don't think that there is any contracts or anything set up right now, because if Wendy was going this way, she didn't even know it herself, right? She thinks she's still in her right mind and everything like that. I think the woman was simply the financial advisor, and she overstepped her boundaries.
Right.
And I think it's all going to be found out, and Wendy's going to win. And Wendy's probably, that woman probably allegedly maybe took a whole bunch of money already, and she going to have to pay it back.
Well, no, I get it. No,
I agree.
get what you're saying, but at the same time, though, if that woman had the authority to go in that bank and do things, somebody gave her that authority. I hope Wendy win too, because it's Wendy's money.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm saying that I don't want her to win. We just saying it could be other things, because sometimes people can think, yeah, well, I was done wrong here, and you really feel strong that somebody did you wrong, and they could have did you wrong, but you gave them the authority to.
Exactly.
And if you don't take my authority back, if you don't take my authority back, Diva, it doesn't matter.
No. I gave you the authority to pay my bills. I gave you the authority to buy some stocks for me. I did not give you the authority to freeze me out of my account.
Diva. You gave me You gave me the authority to pay your bills, to pay your garbage bill or whatever. You gave me the authority to spend your money. I can go somewhere else and spend that damn money.
No. I gave you the authority to pay P&G. I gave you authority to pay my mortgage. I gave you
okay, Diva. Is it specified?
Yes.
Or you just gave me access? You just gave me an ATM card? No, seriously.
No, she said my bills are not paid.
No, it's really important that we understand this. You can give people certain authorities, right? Even on YouTube and a certain account, you can get a manager to come in. They can upload a video, but they can't go change other things. You're giving them certain provisions that they can get. And that's what
Wendy did.
But if you gave somebody an ATM card, they can take your money and do whatever. Yeah, they was paying your bills with it. Now they're doing something else with it.
Okay, it's late. I got a long line. I'm gonna let it just a couple more people talk. Okay, we're not gonna say anything. We're gonna let them talk, you guys.
I got you.
Thank you, Mr. Research, for clearing everything up for us.
Yeah, thanks.
Let me just do a comedy thing real quick. I'll take you back to the Sesame Street days.
Oh Lord!
One of these squares doesn't think like the other. Can you pick out this square's not like the other? All right, I'll get y'all on the next. One other thing as I'm leaving, a story you guys never got a chance to talk about, but as I'm getting out of here, you'll find it fascinating. Janet Jackson marrying the Arabian guy. When Janet Jackson married the Arabian guy, the deal was, I'll give you $100 million to have my baby. Wow. And she flew out there.
Where'd you get this story?
Like I said, you once you go look it up, you'll be fascinated. I research a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff. But once she went out there, had a baby on Arabic soil, keyword, Perry probably liked this part. And then she got the $100 million, and she had a son for him, and she came back to the States. This was right after she left Jermaine Dupri for this $100 million. Then she got out back to the States with her $100 million. The boy came to visit her when he was 3 or 4 years old. Janet Jackson thought that she was going to go to the USA white man court and play a child support move, and this is my baby. And you know what those white folks did? This is the Arabic child born on Arabic land. You will give this child back to your former Arabic husband.
Wow.
I gotta look into that. You have
Mr. Research.
Mr. Research.
Diva, come on.
Mr. Research, you have to DM me. So when we do that story, I'll bring you back, okay?
Here's the thing, Sharrell.
All right. Thank you guys for calling in. Take care.
As the boy gets older, he's going to have connection to the Jackson dynasty. Have a good one.
Okay.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you, Inspiration, for calling in. I really appreciate the call.
Thank you. Wendy will
You take
win.
care.
Wendy will win.
We hope so.
I
Let's
am
take a couple
grateful.
more calls because I got a long line. Hi, Buzz. Hi, Lisa. How are you guys?
Hey,
Hey
what's up,
there.
Hey,
guys?
Lisa.
Lisa, you sound off first really quickly.
Yes. I really believe that Kevin's somewhere behind this. I really do. I don't
I
care
do.
what nobody else say. I have been in it. I'm in their shoes now. I'm in their shoes now where somebody else is over my money. Like every month I have to watch her. She had this when we go to the bank and she give me the money so I can pay my rent. And she also send me money what if I need through the month on a different card.
So
If
you're
I
in a
want to
conservatorship?
something like that. She owed my money. So, like, I had one girlfriend because I had moved down to Atlanta. I had moved down to Atlanta. My girlfriend came over my money because the court, where people when I was younger said I was not allowed to be over my own
Why
money
are you not allowed to be in control of
because
your
my
own?
mental issues.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if you wanted to get out of the conservatorship, how do you get out of it?
I know this really research it now, but I'm right now. What I do is now that I got the account online and
Mhm.
I go to check and see is everything straight every month and make sure everything matches up like they like everything matches up what I had spent for the whole month and I make sure that what I'm saying because my other girlfriend I had to leave her alone because she had problems and my other girlfriend took over so most of the time she comes and she like I said she helped me pay my rent and stuff and all my bills and stuff so I do understand that I really do like Oprah Winfrey said watch every check you got to watch
Mm-hmm.
everything go in and out
Yep.
their bank account. Oprah
Yeah.
Winfrey have said it, y'all. She have
Yeah.
said it so many times. Remember, she told Tony Braxton, "Stop signing these papers that you don't know what you signing on." That's how Teresa got in trouble because Joe had her signing papers
Yeah.
that she did not know because she trusted her husband. Just like you said, Cheryl, you trust Peg. You know what I'm saying? So
Harry,
that's
you
how
bet not.
she.
Buzz, sound off, Buzz. What did you want to say?
So I wanted to say, first thing that we got to point out, even with cocktails, cocktails with lovable Lisa, like she said, she has access to view her accounts. So just go back to what that guy just said about we don't know what type of power she signed over. I read the documents and even the document said, okay, these provisions were in place. However, she did not go beyond like part of the provision was that if she made a purchase, like a suspicious purchase, then they would have permission to freeze her assets. She did not even make a purchase. She was just inquiring, and that's how she found out her assets were frozen.
Who would
Mm-hmm.
set up an account like that?
You see what? No, that's why they're going to court. That's against the law. They didn't. She didn't. You gotta read the papers.
Then
Read the
who set
document.
it up? Who set it up?
She's
What?
saying it wasn't set up. And she said the only reason she said the only thing that's set up. See, I have a threshold too. Like they call me if there's anything, I purchase anything 500 and over, right? So what Buzzworthy is saying that the only provision she had is if there's a suspicious
Got you.
purchase, then you let me know or you could freeze it or whatever the case may be. But they'll freeze it for the moment and they'll send you a text saying, listen, we froze it, call this 1-800 number. That was really you. So that's what I'm saying. They doing something dirty and shady on Wendy.
Yes,
You cannot just lock me out of my own stuff.
she signed something, and there is a provision for like suspicious behavior, even on her part with erratic behavior, dementia. It's provisions in there. However, she didn't make any suspicious, but there was nothing suspicious for them to have to freeze the accounts. That's what it says. That's why her lawyer is stated in the documents. So they're like, why are you freezing this when she never did anything for you to make her freeze her accounts? You
Wow.
get it? So
Yes.
yes, she signed up. She did sign those paperwork. Yes, there was provisions for her that yes, if something were to happen, yes, your money may be cut off. But she can't view her accounts. No, who does that? Even if somebody is supposed to be over your money if something were to happen or if you get out of control. Why would you not be able to at least look at your account?
Right.
Yeah. That's
All
why
right.
I look over everything. Make sure you look over everything, y'all. Make sure all those papers you got your signatures on. Because I'm telling you, people are scamming people out there. For no, I might
have to take Perry's name off of everything. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't trust my brother. Leave my brother alone. He know what he doing. Y'all been married so long, child. Please.
Perry got to go.
Perry, we're giving you
I'm sorry, Perry. You got to go, baby. You got to go out the council.
Hey, it's okay.
Thank you for calling in.
You ladies have a nice weekend.
For straightening everything out. Thank you for calling in.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks,
you. Bye.
Take care. All right. This is just the beginning. This is a to be continued story. Somebody did Wendy wrong, and we're gonna find out who it is.
Yeah. Yes, we are. Get to the bottom.
I find out Kevin's behind it. Whoever is behind it, Lori, Wells Fargo, that's wrong. And Wendy, you got caught slipping. You got to be in charge at all times. It is. I'm starting to watch Big Brother tonight. I hear it's really good. I might do something on it. I don't know. It's pretty wild. But anyway, I got to end this here. I went on way too long, a half hour longer than we were supposed to. We were supposed to jump on, say our piece, and then that's it. So I wanted to thank everyone for your super chats. You don't have to support the channel, and you do. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your call backstage, but we've gone on way too long. I never go on this late either. I want to thank everyone in the chat for your opinions, and my prayers go out to you, Wendy. You earned that money. That's your money. Right. And nobody else is entitled to it. Right. All right, y'all. On 3, let's say bye.
Well, everybody have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.